Hello, Internet. This is Molly Karrasch, and I am wearing a clean t-shirt and lip gloss. And today's gratitude is JimFritzler and a weird audition. JimFritzler was hot shit in the 80s and 90s in the Austin theater scene. He did cutting-edge work. I was horribly jealous, and I ached to work with him, but I was intimidated by him and was under the impression that he thought that I was a meaningless piece of fluff in the world, if he thought anything about me at all. This was reinforced when he came to see me in Finn, the Different Stages production that I was in. He came up to me afterwards and he said something like, "Good work." And then I definitely remember what he said afterwards. "Frankly, I didn't think you had it in you." Ouch. All of my youthful insecurity reinforced. I played it over and over in my head, going back and forth between, well, I showed him, didn't I? And I knew he didn't take me seriously. Then a few days later, I had a dream about him. Sorry. Dream story to follow. The dream took place in the old Vortex Theater, which was located in an old triplex movie theater on East Ben White Boulevard. Sit down, children, and I shall tell ye of a story of when you could afford to rent an actual movie theater to put on plays. And in the dream, the lobby was a sort of cafeteria, and everyone in the theater community went there to eat. And I had a tray of food, and as I was walking to a table, I saw Jim at another table. And as I was walking by, he reached out without looking at me, and I reached out and grabbed his arm and sort of ran my fingers down his arm as I passed by. Just casual, friendly, oddly sweet. It felt very real. I could even feel the hairs on his arm. Never again was I intimidated by Jim. And eventually he directed my 10-minute play, Cow People, and it was awesome. And then I worked with him on some student show, and it's been years since I've seen him. But I'm so fond of him, and so grateful to know him, and so grateful for getting to see his brilliant work in Austin, and so grateful for my psyche, for letting me know that he is a human being and not a monster of intimidation. And I auditioned for a show Vicky Boone was producing back in the Frontera days. Some of you were there, and you will remember this. The director had us go to Dobie Mall, and we were to find a corn dog eater. And I felt like the director thought he was superior to his audience, which, in my opinion, to this day, is a super unhelpful attitude to have toward your audience. And the idea of fucking up someone's day made me super uncomfortable. But I tried. I wandered around for a long time, and then I found this kid. He was probably 18. He was probably hungover. He was just sitting there staring into space, and he made eye contact with me, and he smiled. And I said, "You remind me of my brother. Can I sit with you? I haven't seen him forever." And he said, "Yes," in a sweet, soft voice. I sat with him, and my intention was to tell him a horrible story about how I wasn't allowed to see my brother anymore because I killed his baby. just as I was getting revved up, I looked at his kind and now concerned face, and I thought, this is already the craziest thing that has happened to this sweet boy today, and I can't do this to him. So I said, thank you. And I walked to the parking garage where, to her great credit, Vicky got me to stay and talk to the director about how uncomfortable I was with the audition. But when I think about it, I realized that I learned so much about what the edge of my comfort zone is, and I think it's good to know that. Especially when you work in the arts, because we push the limits sometimes, and it is good to know what your limits are. I learned I truly believe you shouldn't do improv with people who don't know you're doing improv. To me, that violates the trust between artist and audience. And I'm really grateful that I learned that.